Well, today we have Playful Pals for you. There are several pieces to this collection from our friends at Hunkydory. And let me just show you one of the very charming projects that Heidi made. You can see this puppy is right in front of some houses, and he is a three-dimensional. And that's just some of the things that you can do. Won't you please come play with us? Well, let me get you started with what's in the kit. So the first piece is the backgrounds. And the backgrounds are just kind of like that one that I just showed you, like the house. These are 8 by 8. You're going to get 12 designs. You're going to get 4 of each one. And at the end, well, let's see. Let me just show you a couple of them right now. So this is the idea of the background that they are using. They are double-sided. And what the idea is that you can put these with the next piece, which is all of these die cuts. Now there are 8, but I'm going to show you 4, and then I'll show you the other 4 and what Heidi made. So here we have a very good day, and what you can see is that there's a set of little bear cutouts down here, die cuts down here, and then there's bear ones here. So you've got 2 images on one sheet, and that's true of all of these. The kitties, there's a gray kitty up here, and there's a tabby down here. We've got the little bunny and deer. This is Forest Friends. And on this one, we have some magical things. In fact, it's called Magical Moments, with this dragon that is just charming and the unicorn. And as you can see, they are all in pieces. So you have the full image, but then you've also got the other images that you can foam tape on top of the matching art. Works really well. So just those 4 are Playful Pals. And let's get started showing you some others. So I'm going to go into her first card. And what I like that Heidi does, in fact, I appreciate it with all of our designers, is that they do something different, something kind of unexpected. Now, this is using this background sheet from the Playful Pals 8 by 8. So you can see we've got some fish, and that's the bubbles on the back of it. And then the die cuts is this piece, and it is called Make a Splash. So we've got some dolphins at the top, but we're using the cheerful turtles at the bottom. And what we want to do to begin with is kind of isolate some of these. So you're going to see one piece that has a background, and then the others are like this has a little piece of the background. So this is kind of the next one, then this one, and then you see the bits and pieces as well as for the background. And so we want to save some pieces for the inside of the card, okay? So we're going to do at the bottom 2 layers, these 2 pieces, the 2 largest. See my little note? The bottom 2 layers, the largest art. And we're going to be using that differently, okay? So let me hold that. So these are the 2 pieces that are going to be used. And what Heidi did is she first took a piece of white cardstock and she cut it to be 7 inches by 6.5. Then she put it on the scoreboard and scored it with the attached bone folder at 1 inch and at 6 inches. So the inches are right at the top. That way it gives us a nice clean score line. And these are going to be used. We're going to turn this sideways. We're going to fold those over and use this, the bone folder to really secure that. And then she cut a piece of the, let's see, the silver cardstock and cut it to fit right in this middle section, okay? So just cut that, and then, excuse me, she cut this piece and she used it from the left-hand side over, and that's going to go inside the card. This is going to be on top of the metallic silver. So just that piece, that will give you about 1 inch of the metallic showing top and bottom, and that will get us started. So that creates that piece. Then we're going to take our silver ripple. Now, just doesn't that look like water? And we're going to cut a piece that's 1 inch by 6.5 and attach it to each of those flaps. And you can see that that's how it's going to be on our card. So here we've got that middle section with the silver. I'm not sure that you can see it, but truly it's there. And then the artwork from that background sheet. Okay. Then this whole piece is going to get glued to a card, to our regular card. So this is 5 by 6.5 inches. So that's going to get glued right on top. So that's just going to work very nicely. And then what Heidi did is she started gluing or foam taping the pieces in place. Now, in this case, these two are going to go on top of the piece in the middle. Okay, so this acetate isn't there because I haven't talked about the acetate yet. Okay, so we're going to put this one down and then we're going to foam tape this one on top of it. Okay, so that's going to happen there. That's going to be used in the front center. Then we're going to take a piece of acetate. And what Heidi wanted to do is to have this kind of a three-dimensional look. So this is 6.5 by 5.25, as you can see. And you're going to use the 1/2 inch wide extra sticky tape, that's this, and attach it to the flaps. Here, maybe this will help a little bit. So it's going to get attached there and here with the extra sticky tape, and it's going to bow a little bit. It's going to lift up a little bit, and that was Heidi's plan. Now, if you don't want that, simply cut this to 5 by 6.5. Don't do that extra 1/8 of an inch, and it will lay flat. So whichever you like, okay? But you do want to attach that. And then with this, Heidi has room to place, with foam tape, some of the other elements. So as you can see, we've got extra pieces here. So all you do is put foam tape on the back. You want to start with the largest piece and just foam tape it over the matching art. Notice that she saved one piece to go over here. So even though we only have one turtle, we've got a twin over on the corner. And it just kind of is peeking over this little ripple. And there's a couple of little pieces of the coral also there. So that's foam taped, that's foam taped. And then we have a turtley awesome day, which is right here. And that is attached with the extra sticky tape. So that takes care of our card front. So you are using all of the turtle pieces on the card front. Okay, let's go to that card inside. Now what we're going to do here is go back to that 8 by 8. And you used a strip of it on the front of the card, but we also have all of this left. So she put glue on the inside of her card, positioned this piece, pressed it down, turned it over, and trimmed it to fit. Now, if you don't have quite enough room on that sheet, well, remember you get 4 sheets of every pattern, so you will have enough room. So that completely covers the front of her, the inside of her card. Then she took this piece over, or another piece, and cut a little strip. This is, I believe, 1.5 by 5 inches. Matted it on the silver ripple, and notice the silver ripple on the front is going horizontally, but this is going, well, I guess it's also going horizontally, but it just, you kind of just see those little snippets on the corner. So that's glued in the card. And then she went back to that same sheet, and this has the dolphins on the front. So she used those on the inside of her card. So again, there's the largest piece. That's been glued down. And then she foam taped the other pieces inside, as well as she kept one just to be going over here. Again, she wanted to have another twin. It's your birthday, make a splash. That's been foam taped over here. And that is part of this sheet. And then she's also got these pieces of coral down here. And so you can see that those were also attached. So her card is a very ocean, awesome birthday and making a splash day. Now you could do this as 2 separate cards, of course, but I think the idea of that silver ripple is just wonderful. Of course, acetate's always a great look. I'm going to show you the second card that I started in the beginning, and that is this one. And this little guy have a wolfy time, okay? And he is using, let me show you the pieces. So here is the background sheet. And obviously what was done is it was used to first cut a piece, and that's going to be starting at the upper left-hand corner. And the measurement is down below. I almost said downstairs, down below in the card. So you can just click on the card, you'll see the instructions there, and you can print them off if you want to. So that first piece was cut. You're going to have this piece left, just like we did on the last card. That's something I really like about 8x8 is you have extra paper left. And in this case, the back side of it has this diamond design. So that's nice. So we're going to cut that first, and then we're going to mat it onto the gold glitter. And that's going to have just about 1/8 of an inch border. And then we're going to mat it a second time onto the metallic gold. And that gives you a second layer. And then simply put it onto a card. This card then is going to have a gold edge, since gold is our color that we're working with. So she took the Delicata Golden Glitz ink pad and simply used it on the edge of her card, just like this, just right along the edge, just to duplicate that gold look. And she did it on all 4 corners, like so. Okay, and now let me show you. This is the sheet that she's using. We have, it's called a woolly time. So we have one little guy up there and another one down here. Obviously she's used this down one. And you'll notice on both of them, this is true of all of the pieces, you have one piece that has a background. So up here for that guy, down here for this guy. However, once again, we are going to save 2 pieces for the inside of our card. So we're going to save those 2. And then we're going to take this piece and we're going to make our little puppy right here. And that's going to be the other layer. So you're going to find what is the next largest one. It looks to me like it's this because this is a more complete image. I would glue that down. Then I would foam tape this little guy on top, just matching the art, and then you have all of these other pieces. So you're going to get a little puppy that is 3-dimensional. And by using the foam tape, it's not going to get terribly thick. You can handle and decide how thick you want it to be. So if you want it to be pretty flat, well, just, use that one layer. If you want it to just be a little bit of dimension, maybe add a couple. In this case, she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. So that's your choice. Have a woolly time. I appreciate that on these you get 2 greetings, so that's nice. And then she also took the bow maker, that wonderful bow maker, and this is the orange and peach ribbon pack, and made that little bow and zotted it in place. Now on the inside of her card, let me go back to that house. So we used this area on the card front. So now she has this. Now she didn't use it to cover the whole of the inside of her card, as you can see. And so, but she did use the piece that was left. And then she supported it with a strip from the background on the back side. So that goes right here. And she wanted to add a little bit of a foiling touch, because all of these are foiled, by the way. I'm sure you would know that since it's from Hunkydory. And what she used is, this is the gold border dazzles, and you can kind of see the shapes. And she's got 2 strips, one on each side of that diamond. And then this is the piece that was saved, remember? Right here, this is the saved one. And then this little guy goes right on top of it. And so you just have the 2 layers. But she did put some of these extra flowers here. They're kind of going into the flowers in the art. And the life is good. Well, that comes from our Tiny Words and Phrases dazzles. And you can get this as a single sheet in the black, or you can get collections of different finishes, different colors, also available. So we've got this one for you that will go right here. Life is good, and that certainly is a good statement. So we have a wolfy time, and life is good, and it does look very happy right there. Okay, Now our next one, this is a different shape, and this is you love, our designers love. This is Hunkydory's tent fold, and this is their slimline version. And it's a little bit wider than our typical slimline, but it's nice because it comes with cards and envelopes. So that's going to work nicely. So let me show you what's in here. And because these papers are 8 by 8, you have enough room to almost cover your card front. So this is the forest one, and you can see, isn't that pretty? And so she has used this area, so she's starting with the leaves right here and cutting the piece that's in the directions. It's a little bit bigger than 3 inches, I think. And then she matted it on the copper glitter cardstock. Isn't that pretty? And you can see how nicely it's going to pick up the golden and coppery look of the leaves in this sheet. So that then is glued to the card front. Then the 3D piece has the fox, and it has owls at the top. So this is called Wonderful Woodland. Remember, there are 8 in the set. So this is one. Once again, we are going to save the bottom 2 to go on the inside of the card. So that's going to leave us all of these. It leaves us some greetings. This greeting is, thanks for being you. So that's nice. This is going to be foam taped up here. Our little fox is going to sit down here on the ground, and we're going to do this one first. So you just kind of take a look at them and see what would be the first. It's going to be the largest, so the him, then right on top this one, then this one, then this one, then the muzzle, and you're going to get a sweet little piece like that. Just really, all of these are not only they playful pals, they're just charming pals. On the inside of the card, let me go back to that 8 by 8 sheet. So we used this on the card front, and what Heidi did is she covered that whole inside of her card with the copper glitter. Now she just used that as a matting on the front. You see right at that, about 1/8 of an inch mat, but inside it's covering the whole card. So that's pretty. Then she has taken this 8 by 8, so about half of it is left, but she only cut a strip, and it's a strip right here, just as wide as the card. She matted it, but this time on green glitter. So we've got the green and the copper, very pretty combination. And that is going to, we're going to save it for a moment, and then we're going to come back and go on the back side of this paper. And you can see this light yellow all over, very muted background. So she has cut a piece here, and she has edged that with green thin line dazzles, and this comes in the thin line primary collection. So there is blue, yellow, brown, green, red, and black. So the green is obviously just right along the edge going onto the paper. So that's pretty. Put that in place. Notice it's flush to the right-hand side and the bottom of the card, leaving that kind of piece showing. And then we have this going sideways. And then we have our other little fox. Now, with this one, I'll take my save note off of it, but notice that this has got rounded corners. Well, Heidi noticed that. So what she did is she matted this on green glitter, and she used our 3-in-1 corner piece. And so that's just going to chomp the corners, your 3 different measurements that you can use. So that's going to be very nice. And then she glued that in place. And then because she saved 2 pieces, she has 2 layers. So the flat one is down first, and then that number 2 is foam taped on top. So it has a little bit of dimension, fits very nicely inside her card. Speaking of inside her card, she also has this greeting, thinking of you. That comes from the We're Together dazzles. Now, the We're Together has words that are stacked, just like this, thinking of you. They also have them in one line. So you get both of those sheets in this package. So that worked very nicely. And she did tie a bow This is the 1/8 inch ribbon. You can see there's a lot of different colors, including this dark green. She dotted that in place. And that takes care of our third card. Really nicely done. Okay, now I have one more, and let me show that to you. We have a little piggy, a really cute piggy with a butterfly. I truly would not have thought of piggies with butterflies, but I'm glad Heidi did. Now, this card is our regular 5 by 6.5 inch card. But what she did first is she took, this is the pear green ink and her blender brush, and went on the edges just to give that a green look, very light green. That's what the pear green is. So that worked nicely. And then what we're using is this sheet. So we've got a picket fence, and we've got a little shed there. And then this is the sheet. This is called Fun at the Farm. So we've got this absolutely charming lamb and this very cute little pig. So little Wilbur the pig. Now, Heidi did something interesting. Well, before I get there, let me talk to you about the paper. So this paper is going to be glued on top of the card, and it's going to start from the top of our little shed over, like so. And you can see that mostly it's going to be the picket fence at the bottom. You're not going to see too much of the grass down below, so you can kind of look at that and see the measurements down below. And after she glued that in place, she used the arch dies, and she used the one that is 2.5 inches wide. Placed that on top and cut this opening. And I appreciate how she did it, because normally when you're cutting an opening like this, an aperture, you tend to put it right smack dab in the middle of the card. And I love the fact that she lets it play with the artwork of that little outdoor scene. So that was placed here, and then run through the die cutting machine to get our little arch. So that took care of that. Then I think we will flip to the inside of our card, okay? So on the front, used this area. You can see it goes clear over. By the way, the back side of this is a weathered wood in white, so that's pretty. I'm not going to use it this time, but it's pretty. So to go on to the inside of the card, you're going to need another sheet, because she used pretty much the same area again and did ink the inside. Now, by the way, when you go to ink the inside, you really want to protect this left side of your card, so you can put Post-it notes down there or scrap paper if you can tape it in place. Fold it like this, and then ink those edges with the blending brush and that pear green ink pad. Okay, so we've got this down. Then Heidi has taken our little pig, and she did not save any of the pieces because all of them are used on the back. But she did some fun things. So here we have our little piggy. And again, they are foiled, so that's fun. And you can see he's got several different pieces. But what she also did, and we'll get in close, Jeanette, if you can do that, and she just curved his little ears up even closer. There you go. You can see that they're just curled up. And that is very cute. You can kind of wrap them around a bone folder or just do it with your fingers. But I thought that was really cute, and he is just so charming. And his background does kind of blend with the artwork. You could choose just to use the pieces and save this full piece for another project. So whatever you like, but that's what Heidi did. Now she's done something else, because especially on the front of the card, we really didn't get much of the grass. So she has cut a strip. It's about 1 inch tall. But then she also matted a piece of the dot vellum. So you can see that right there, and tore the top edge of it and glued that just on top of this background, but tucked under the little barrel that he's in, okay? The Sending Wishes, excuse me, yeah, Sending Smiles is from our Sending Styles Dazzles. And this has a ton of them in multiple colors, black, white, gold, and silver. So that's going to work nicely. Then she has the butterflies. So I'm going to go back to the one on the front because that's the largest. This is from the pastel butterflies. There are 32 of them in here, all in those very pretty pastel-y colors. And what she has done is simply folded them on each side, fold the wings on each side of the body. Then she's taken 1/4 inch wide extra sticky tape, just 1/4 of an inch. You only need a piece about 1 inch long. Put it behind the body, remove that red liner, and attach it right there. So that one is up here. There's a little blue one. We've got a little pink one over on the side. And then she's got another pink one and blue one inside the card. And even though those have wings that will lift up, they will still lift up even after they've been inside a card. So you can see I can do that and they still pop back up. So that works nicely. Now we've got the Sending Smiles inside, but on the front we have Relax and Enjoy Your Special Day. Behind that, there's a little piece of the dotted vellum that has been torn and foam taped underneath that greeting. So it's got a couple of layers of foam tape there, so that's just going to work very nicely. So that takes care of our 4th card. So what we have in this collection, remember I told you at the beginning there were 8? So we've got the lambs and the pigs, we've got the owls and the fox, we have you have to do this quickly, we have to do 2 puppies, and then we've got the turtle and the dolphin, and then the 4 that I showed you earlier, and that is in the set of the Playful Pals topper set. That's 8 pieces. And then we also have the backgrounds. Let me show you the other backgrounds because you've seen 4 of them with the 4 cards. But we have this, and again, there is a back side. We have a picnic backed with pennants. We have a hillside that looks like where I live, and we've got flowers behind it. We have like a fairy forest, and the back of that, oh, we've got pretty rainbows, and we have this. So you could put a little kitty there or a little puppy. We have hot air balloons and more on the back. We have the waterfall with the puppy prints on the back, and then we have a rainbow with the daisies on the back. So again, you've got 12 sheets and you've seen all of them. You've seen all 8 of these, but there are 16 designs in those 8 sheets. So all of this is our Playful Pals Money Saver. Aha, Money Saver on the right side of the screen as always. And as always, or at least with Heidi's projects and my projects also, there are instructions down below, so you can click on those. You can print them off if you like. As always, we'd like to share with our friends on YouTube. If you are watching this on YouTube, welcome. We're glad you're here. We would love it if you would like us, if you would leave a comment. We're always happy to hear what you have to say. Also, if you would subscribe, because that subscribing lifts our readership, and that's important to us, and let us get to more people. We would invite you to go back to paperwishes.com because that's the only place you're going to be able to find these 8 together in a collection. And we do have these, and hallelujah, we're very excited because the ship finally came in and we have all of our Hunkydory products. So that's very nice to have. And also, you can click on any of the instructions and print them off if you would like. I find that very helpful myself because then I can remember what something looks like. Okay, I want to thank you for joining us. I want to thank Heidi for, as always, doing a very creative and lovely job. And thank you for being part of our Paper Wishes family. We'll see you soon.